somebody whose production level is always on point.
Oh,
Little shout out to me too. It's JJ Diesel and his JiBBa jaBBa.
Ooh.
I should see it up. Wow,
I'm gonna buy Hooker and bang her to the song.
That's worth it. That's all I gotta say.
That's worth it.
Wait.
Just a pentagram.
Oh,
It gets better, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the funkiness continues.
Yeah.
it's
harder.
Like that.
Yeah, it does. Finally, a song that was good.
Bad.
So anyway,
Hear it on the radio.
yeah. Seriously, if I tried to bone a chick to that last song, I would lose it.
She'll be flaccid.
Yeah. So anyway, real quick, this is you know how you have like you take a leak and there's like little poop stains and you try to like hit the poop stains off with your pee.
Yes.
I've
Yeah,
done that
okay.
many a time.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
I was like, there was a poop that was on there because I left there a couple days ago. That shit was not moving, so I was aggressive with trying to push, and I almost shit my pants trying to push. I think
Push your pee or push.
I was pushing the pee and almost pooped my pants.
Nice.
Like, that shit is like linked some way. I'm not kidding around.
Like they spoke to each other?
Yes, like, hey, let's get this motherfucker. I'm like, whoa, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna go sit down right now. I'm gonna sit down now like a lady and try to get my poop out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was seriously like, so, and then I had a mishap in my truck when I was cruising in my cool ass whip.
You don't mean in Tacoma,
Yeah.
do you?
Dude, which reminds me,
Nissan Frontier
I forgot, to
02.
I forgot to tell you, those little trees you can throw away after after it's done.
What?
He has
Oh.
like 100
those
fucking
pine
the
trees.
little pine trees on his.
I
Hey,
keep
man.
hey, I think if
they
you
have memories.
think if you add them all up, there's a little bit of freshness in there.
He uses it as a deodorant.
What you do is you
Oh,
grind
no.
them together and make one new tree.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of being economical, you said deodorant, right?
Oh no.
Yes, sir.
Get this. I like the degree clinical protection.
Yes.
Clinical protection.
So I tried the right guard clinical protection, except it's a little more. It's like the white, like the
bar?
It sticks on your shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm thinking about shaving my arms and shit. So I'm like, man, like that shit's all sticky. I woke up. I was about to take my son to the doctor, and I was like, man, no time for showers, right? So then I go put some deodorant on. I look, and there's
Still got it.
there's still chunks. So I just rubbed it in there. Clean as a whistle.
Booyah.
Nice.
Can't whistle very well, but you get the gist.
Speed stick, huh?
Yeah. No. Right guard.
Oh,
Right
right
guard.
guard.
Right guard. Clinical protection.
Good for 2 days.
Good for 2 days. So actually, it's very economical.
Minimum 2 days.
Yeah, at least 2 days. I'm gonna say this. And then, so anyway, I was in my cool ass whip, like I said,
Nice.
and I had my arm up, just chilling in the cut while I'm driving, right? So here's what happens.
Yeah.
Little Joe Cool over here. I try to do a spit. I fucking spit on my arm, like a big
No,
ass
hey,
loogie. I went, fuck! Almost get a fucking accident. I'm like, ooh, like trying to wipe this
No,
big ass
no, no.
glob off my fucking arm.
No, I feel you. I've done that, except it went back in my face.
Oh.
God, that's even better.
Yeah.
I did that. I was in the back seat.
Like in my eye. Not even like, just like a fat ass, like, flu booger. Loogie.
That makes me feel good.
And
The
it's
flugie.
like a flugie, yeah. It went right in my
Blam.
cheek eye.
Spider-Man, you got me.
I was so pissed at myself.
But it's funny though.
That's
It
what
was
she said.
funny, yeah.
That's what she said. She was pissed at you too.
Spider-Man to her face.
Spider-Man in her face.
Splooge. Thank you.
But and then a couple things real quick. My nephew, the 51st dates. Ben, he had a birthday, and I couldn't believe what one of the cousins said. He's like, I don't know, probably like 6, 7. And my brother-in-law cooks he's cooking hamburgers. They weren't bad. They weren't the best, They weren't the ones I make, but they were all right. They were edible. They were cool. And he was all like, self-conscious about it. I'm like, no, they're good. You don't even trip. one of the little cousins is all, this is the worst hamburger ever. And I was like, what the fuck? I would have got socked in my face if I would have said that shit.
What a little dick.
Yeah. Hey, he took a bite and looked up and said, this is the worst hamburger ever.
I already eat my own shit.
Yeah. Hey, can anyone grab a bun for me so I can eat my own shit? I'm gonna shit in this burger so I can eat it because it'll be so much better. I couldn't believe he exclaimed it. It wasn't even like, man, this is bad. He said, this is the like he had to exclaim it to the world that this is the worst hamburger he's ever had in his life.
I think the only thing better than that is if he threw it down on the floor after.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
That would have been my burger. First of all, that would have been sad.
Throw it back to
I would
the
have. I would have threw his ass. I would have threw his ass in the baseball field and shit when they're playing.
Like, even when I've had a really bad burger, it's still not that bad.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
How do you fuck up a burger?
They weren't that bad, but apparently this little guy
Well, I guess he's just
felt
used to
like
supreme
like
burgers
he
or
ate a
something.
bag of shit apparently. And then my son decides I'm holding the little guy, and then my brother-in-law's girlfriend, she's like, I think he peed his pants. And I was like, nah. I was like, oh wait, did he pee his pants? Maybe he did.
I think I peed my pants.
There was pee all over my chest. I didn't even feel it. Maybe because it was kind of windy. It was kind of chilly. Maybe it warmed me up, so I felt good. I was like,
Just
nah.
go, man. Just
I,
ain't that
I
bad.
looked and I was like, oh my gosh. And then this morning he got me again. I usually don't sleep with the shirt because I get hot. So I was like, I woke up. I was like, damn man, I was sweaty, and I was like,
oh.
he peed all over me. So he's had a good week of pissing all over me, and then he got me. This is a true test of love right here. This is right here is a true test of love. Took him to the doctor, gave him some medicine. They said give it to him with food. So that means business. You know what I mean? It's strong. Like you can't just
You can't mess with that.
yeah. So I gave it to him, and then we go take a nap. And I wake up. We're on the bed. I wake up. I'm laying down, and I wake up to him sitting up, just throwing up all over the bed. And I'm like, oh shit. So I pick him up. I'm like, baby, all right? And he was like, and I was like, oh my goodness. So I thought he was done. So I set him on the floor, and I'm trying to like take the sheets all out and all that shit. And I hear it, and I'm like, oh, I go out there, and I see this little baby like this, like with his little mouth open, like I was like, oh my gosh. So then I try to clean everything up. So I pick him up and I try to console him, and I take my shirt off because it has throw up all over it.
Yeah.
I pick him up and he looks at me, boom, just all over my chest and shit. I'm like, oh god. So I'm like, oh man. So then I'm like, you all right? I'm like, oh god, here it comes. And I just brace myself like, here it comes. I'm like, I just held on to him. He just like destroyed my chest with puke. And I was like, after I soaked it up, and I smelled like absolute shit, of course, by this time. Even the 2-day deodorant couldn't help me on this one.
Not even the
Sorry,
right
right guard. You ain't all that. You know what I'm saying? So
clinically disproven.
I cleaned everything, but yeah, clinically proving my ass. Better take that shit back to a testing lab. So I cleaned them all up, boom, boom, and then I just, I took a shower, let the door open, kept talking to him, hey, buddy, boom. And I was like, oh my, he was like a throw-up monster, like, so that kind of sucked. And then the last thing I heard, I thought was funny, I actually heard this, I think, yesterday. Colin Coward show, pretty dang awesome. This was funny. He was talking about, like, kind of how behind and kind of how, like, how dumb he could be. And he was like, yeah, so he got an iPad.
Yeah.
From one of the companies that work that, because, they do all these sponsors, they get all this free shit.
Yeah.
He's like, so I get this iPad. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, like, boom, boom, this and that. You can do everything. He's like, well, how do you do this? He's like, oh, you just go to the App Store. And, you get whatever you need to get. He was like, oh, really? He was like, yeah, boom, boom, this and that. Ah, cool. So he brings it home. He's like, hey, he tells his wife, like, hey, I got this iPad. I'm going to give it to you, So she's like, all right, cool. So he's like, I try to be a nice guy. And I'm like, well, I knew she was tired, whatever the case. I'm going to go run some errands.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, and if you want, he's like, oh, I'm going to stop by the App Store. And she was like, what? He was like, yeah, the guy just told me all you gotta do is go to the app store and get these apps. He's also, I'm gonna go to the app store. Where's the app store at? And she was like, wait, what?
What's happening?
She's all, the app store is on the iPad. You just go to the app store and you get all the applications. He was like, oh. He had no clue. He thought the app store was like a store where you go buy apps.
Oh my god.
So that's how that goes. And I want to say thank you for listening.
Thank you, Diesel, for your JiBBa.
Thank you for listening.